Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Empowering Voices. We have a very special guest today, especially if you are a bookworm like I am, because she's special. Bijal is with us, and she will tell us everything about what she does and how the magic of books can change your life. We will start, as usual, from one of the statements on my t-shirts, that today is positive thinking. For those of you who are only listening, is the hand embroidery I have on my t-shirt. So welcome, Bijal. I'm very happy you are with us today. And tell me, do you think positive thinking can be applied a bit on to what you do? Tell us.
Absolutely. Mara, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I love your work. I love your clothes. They look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And, I think you've hit the nail on the head with the slogan, positive thinking. I think we need that more than ever right now with the pandemic and, mental health and, all of us feeling a little low, maybe having been stuck indoors. But now, restrictions are lifting, and so all that
we are starting living again.
It's kind of working. We're hoping to be able to embrace life as we knew it again, which is wonderful. So there's the positive thinking aspects really resonate with me, and I feel that obviously a lot of my work is using literature as a therapeutic medium. But obviously the underlying goal of any therapy really is hope, the hope to get through a difficult issue, the hope to get, to come out of the other end having processed our pain. And, the thing that supports hope is positive thinking. So, life is a series of losses and hopes. It's a bit of a cycle really, isn't it? And
you can help with that, because, well, just to put a label, but it's much more than that. No, you are a book curator, a bibliotherapist, you are an author, a poet, but you worked in a completely different field. But definitely with what you do today, you can definitely help for positive thinking. That is not the think positive that I always saw a bit like diminishing the value of the feelings. The positive thinking is like a completely change of mindset. And with your suggestions, definitely we can get there. So tell us a bit. First of all, I wanted to, you were in finance before, right?
Absolutely. I used to work in investment banking. I was a mathematician at, by training. I did a mathematics degree, and then I went into accountancy and then investment banking, where I spent 13 years. I loved what I did, but it was the tangible impact that I was having on other people was just not there.
Very difficult to see it. I mean,
exactly.
Well, in their bank account probably, but not on a personal life.
Exactly. I just felt that, I was very disconnected to my real self, which was, my need to help others, to find satisfaction in that. And so I did a counseling and psychotherapy part-time diploma whilst working in banking. And I still stayed in banking for a long time, even after that. But, it led me to writing a non-fiction book called The Happiness Mindset, where there's a lot of...
Yeah, now I'm very curious, actually, about the book that I haven't read yet. So.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of strategies for positive thinking in that, I guess. And then after the book was published, I got a good response on Amazon. But then I really, after having children, I really needed to rethink my lifestyle, and I also needed to rethink what was important to me, because time is very precious when you have kids.
Yeah.
And really my goal was to merge my passion for helping people and also literature and psychology into something that would be of use to others. And that's how I sort of established my bibliotherapy practice and my curation practice, literary curation consultancy, which I really just, either prescribe books for therapy or for personal interest, or we can have a session through which you get a book prescription.
It's lovely, the idea of having a book prescription.
Yeah, that's right.
They said the most amazing medication we can ask for.
I think so. I think, very affordable and very sort of, it hits all the notes of therapy. There's connection, there's reflection, there's catharsis, there's all of these things that come with any form of art therapy, and literature is so primed for that. You might never you might find it hard to connect with a therapist. You might see a dozen and still not connect, but it's very easy to find a book that you connect with. And that, I think, is the power of literature. And that's where we kind of should try and leverage off it.
Of course. Yeah, your magic is in finding the book that makes that click. When we most need it. And of course, if I come to you and say, look, I'm very interested in historical novel, during the Victorian period, could you suggest something? Also for that, of course, because you can suggest books. It's not only for, I don't know, personal growth or to overcome some difficult moment. Yeah.
See, the majority of books I prescribe is fiction, non-fiction, because fiction is incredibly powerful in getting us to connect with our emotions. We get into the character's head, or we empathize with them, or we feel like the author is empathizing with us through what he's writing, because I really can relate to it.
Yeah.
So the magic of fiction sometimes is greater than nonfiction. But memoir can also sometimes feel like a story, and it's really the power of stories that we as humans are so conditioned to connect to, throughout our history and our ancestry, and, from the ancient civilizations to now.
That's amazing. And I asked you already, but I want you to tell us again how many books on average you read. Because of course, I'm a bookworm, and I would like to read a book a day, right? Yes. That's not possible, clearly.
It's I completely hear you, and I think we should all try and build a daily reading habit. And for me, it's, I do read every day, and I do try and get through 3 books a week.
That is a lot, considering that you have a family to look after and small kids, and it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, audiobooks help a lot.
Yeah.
Whilst you're doing chores, you can listen in. But it's part of my work and what I do.
Of course.
So, if you want to stop being a holiday reader, you've got to be reading every day, even if it's 10 minutes or half an hour, or whatever time you can devote. Take a break for yourself, treat it as a self-care.
Yeah, exactly. It's a way to pamper ourselves. It's not,
Of course. You've got to build it in daily. So that is something that I always advocate. But I also want to stress that, some of the things that I prescribe might not be things that I've read, because, I might not have come across it or come across that issue for a client before. But I do, we do a lot of research, talking to other people with similar issues, other mental health professionals, opinion pieces, reviews, to make sure that this book is something that's going to be helpful. And it's extremely tailored. Like, the book prescription is it's a conversation. It's us, getting people to fill out a questionnaire that really
it's like more a coaching session plus the prescription of the book.
Yeah, exactly.
All in one.
I want to know what it is that's been bothering you. I want to know what it is that you dream of, that you hope for, what it is that you enjoy reading, the genres that you like, so that I only prescribe things within the reading spaces that you feel comfortable with. And then what mediums, do you like Kindle, audio, paperback? Because not all books are available in all formats.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
For example, I'm very...
how much time you have, that's... key, because I need to then get you the books that match not only your preferences but the time that you have.
Exactly. That's actually is a very interesting question to ask your customers. It's probably one of the most important, because depending on what we do in life, we have time or not. But as you said, if we consider it as a me time, we will find it, even if it's 10 minutes a day and not, hours. Like, I would love to.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Because, you know, sometimes short stories are easier. You can read a short story as part of a collection. You can read one, versus like a long memoir, which might take a bit longer, right? And you don't want to be dipping in and out over a long period of time, because that doesn't help.
And does it happen to you to read something that you don't like, but you feel that you have to read it if you want to be of help?
I know there's always that sort of, it will get better, I'm sure it'll get better.
Yeah.
There's so many reviews, like how can I not, like I have to try, and curiosity gets to you as well. But I also say, like, if there's something you don't connect with, don't force it, because it's not helping you. And you know, the goal here is to really find something that you connect with when you're looking at it from a bibliotherapy perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have, of course, you have some preferences. I mean, some kind of books that you love the most. What is your kind of book? I mean, something that makes you really dream and feel the magic.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I think different points in my life, I've loved different things. You know, when I was younger, I read a lot of classics and fiction, and you know, we had that luxury of time at school, and you know, to do that, like literary fiction and science fiction and historical fiction. And now, as you know, as you get older, sometimes we feel like we only need to read things that are going to be useful. So some people feel the pressure to read more nonfiction. But for me, like during the pandemic, I've been craving escapism, so I've been reading a lot of fiction, and a lot of like personal memoirs. I think, you know, I'm at that stage in my life where I'm very curious about other people's lives, and I'm not at a midlife crisis point, but you know, very curious about how, as mothers, we navigate the huge the huge amount of tasks that's imposed on us, especially during that motherhood stage, where we're spinning so many plates. So personal memoirs of mothers and women has been very interesting. Work of, you know, colored authors as well, because I feel like I need to see more diversity in what I'm reading. And translated works as well, because it really, there's some amazing like pieces of translated literature that's fantastic. I know you're Italian, so you might have some suggestions as well, but I absolutely enjoy reading translated literature as well, in Eastern Europe and Europe as well. So
yeah, well, of course, where possible, with the support of all the languages I know, I try to read in the original language. But of course, if you cannot get there in this way, you get, I mean, translated work. And there was a period I was very interested in Asia area, works from Asia. So of course, I don't know the language, I didn't have a choice. So yeah. And we were talking also of the post-book blues that I told you. I mean, it's such a good expression to talk about it. And a very good book is what leaves behind, actually. Tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, when you've read a really amazing book that you've really connected with, I think when you get to the end, you feel like you're saying, you know, I always say, if you feel like you're saying goodbye to a familiar friend or familiar friends, and, you know, that in itself can feel a little heartbreaking, or a bit of a sense, you might have a sense of loss.
Yeah, you feel lonely.
You do, and you feel like you can't read another book, because either you'll betray them, or you'll be disappointed because it won't be as good, or you'll spoil the magic of this book if you read something else. It's almost like, you know, when you're rebounding from a relationship, you know, you kind of want to still immerse yourself in the nostalgia of that relationship, and you don't really want to move on. That's what happens when you have the post book blues. And so I always, and it's a bit like holidays as well, you know, when you feel like the end of a holiday is coming, and you feel a little bit disappointed, and you know, sometimes you book another holiday.
Yeah, but you say it won't be the same, and you find all the negatives possible for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But I sometimes counteract it by just having another book to look forward to after this book. So I don't necessarily feel that pinch so much.
Yeah, I have to say, for me, it depends. But now it's 2 months. I've started something like 10 different books, trying to start another book after the last one that left me very engaged and shocked and with dark magic, although the feelings were not always positive.
Yeah,
but
you have
still,
a high bar now to meet.
yeah, but still nothing. So I'm still trying, and probably I just closed one of the most amazing books, but it was on the right moment. So I'm just waiting.
You want to savor that the other book, the first book. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do advocate the use of journaling.
You're
reading a book that you really love and kind of jotting down what it's bringing up for you. So do you think there's something in there that might be helpful, or that you can learn from, or that's telling you about yourself?
Yeah, actually, it's because you do such an introspection while you are reading, because it's, of course, if you really like a book, it's because either you identify yourself with the one of the characters, or with the story, or whatever it is. It's you are starting analyzing yourself, actually. And there are aha moments while you are reading about yourself, nothing to do with the book in reality. And
that's it. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, in the bibliotherapy framework that I use, the first stage is the identification, the connection, the identification, the reflection. It's all part of the journaling journey, the bibliotherapy journey. I mean, I go through all of that on my online bibliotherapy course in terms of using literature as a self-care strategy and literary journaling, and that all of those things are key. And I think now to read without doing that, for me, would feel, I don't know, like cheating. Like I just feel like you're not getting enough out of your reading if you don't do that.
Yeah, you're right. Although it becomes automatic, right?
Yeah.
Journaling, of course, makes it more real because you are using your hand, possibly not a computer. And it's actually, I never did it for a book. I had for a period, I had one of these diaries where you write maybe just one sentence that the book left with the date when you read it. Now thinking of it, was amazing to read back and see what the book told me. And yeah, you're right. It's I have to start doing it. It will be self-discovery.
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think it'll be interesting, I think, for you as well, just to see what's coming up.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have a statement, a word that guides you a bit with what you do, and for the aim of your business?
Sure. So, I mean,
maybe from one book, of course, a quote of some favorite author. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for me, like the word throughout the pandemic, the word throughout my life, I guess, that's always been so important is connection. I think, it doesn't matter if the connection is surrogate, like if it's through a book or through a movie, or as long as you're connecting to something, that is the precursor to everything, to healing, to feeling seen, to feeling valued. Like, I just think connection is so important, and often we miss that. We all miss that a lot, especially with, the loneliness epidemic right now, and COVID didn't help that, and just mental health and understanding others. Connection is the precursor to all of everything, to relationships, to to ourselves,
to growth, of course. And well, now with the pandemic, is probably because we moved in our little corner, But before the pandemic was probably because everything was too fast. But you are right. I mean, looking for the connection with people, with the things, with emotions is the first step towards feeling better, basically, and grow and change emotionally. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I just want to remind everyone, of course, your details will be everywhere in the post, on the cover of the podcast, so it won't be difficult to look for you and connect with you, because I really think it's our mindset, our mental health, for example, has such a big importance on the way we live life. So instead of looking too far, we have you with your therapy through books and through words. That is something fantastic. We need your prescriptions.
Yes. The business is Book Therapy and the website's booktherapy.io. But please reach out if you need any kind of literature to support you, or if you're looking.
And it's actually, because I was checking your website, you have also packages for gift, because it's one of the most amazing presents you can receive, actually, if you are a book lover, and whatever is the reason, right? Just because you want to escape, or because you need any kind of help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the book prescriptions are great gifts. The bibliotherapy course is a great gift. Journaling, I have some literary journaling books and stuff, and literary guides for travel, like to New York and London, and just literary.
We saw me start. Excellent. So thanks a lot for being with us. And again, I invite you all to check Bijal details and connect with her. Thank you, and see you to the next episode.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
All right. Bye.